Hi folks, today I'm going to demonstrate my Lifan motors that a lot of you have been looking at in my ads that I've been advertising over the years, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm actually going to take one of these little engines here. We're going to start with a 6.5 in a box. We're going to open it up, put oil in it, put fuel in it, and we're going to get it started to show you how simple they run, and I'm going to show you how much these motors are after this whole deal, and it'll be unbelievable. You won't believe the price, and they run really good. Okay, so when I get these motors here, they basically come in a good cardboard box. They're very well packaged. These motors are Chinese made. That worries a lot of people because a lot of Chinese motors and stuff, you cannot get parts, but I can get all the parts for these motors. I stock a lot of parts. It comes with a little spark plug wrench here, free of charge. It comes with a little owner's manual. It's written both in English and French for the convenience of everybody. There's a bit of a cardboard package on the top here. The package is really good. It's sealed in plastic. And here's what I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way here so we don't trip in it. So here they are. These motors are very similar. If you come a little closer here, you'll almost think it's a Honda motor, but they are not. They are basically a knockoff. Most of the parts on these motors will fit on your Honda motor. For example, if you need an ignition coil, a Honda coil is very expensive. Coils for these guys are about $23 plus tax. So it's very, very economical for you. Switches are $5. Gas tanks fit. Of course, the mufflers fit. Carburetors are approximately in the $60 range. Sometimes a carburetor is too dirty to repair, and the repair bill will outweigh the cost of buying a new carburetor. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to put some oil in this guy. They have also an oil alert system here. That's a wire coming out of the cylinder crankcase there. If this engine runs low on oil, it will shut the spark down. Basically, you won't burn your motor. You'll wonder why it's not going. Maybe you'll have to give me a call, and I'll maybe remind you that you need a bit of oil in your motor, because that happens a lot in a lot of today's equipment. So there's a little dipstick here, and what goes in these engines is basically your everyday 10W30 car oil, nothing too fancy. It doesn't need to be expensive to work good for you. It's just got to be half decently good quality. So I'm just going to tilt it over here. Every time somebody buys one of these motors from me, I always oil them up and put fuel in them and get them started for you. And I put a tachometer on them to make sure they're running good for you before you get them. Now here we want to put the oil to the bottom of the hole here, so I need to put more oil in here. You can't overdo it. If you put too much oil in here, it will just flow out. Just wait a few minutes, put a rag there, and she'll be fine. So we'll finish filling her up here. And a little more. These motors work great on wood splitters, very good replacement engine. They'll fit where a Briggs & Stratton motor or a Tecumseh motor of the approximate same size will fit. The bolt patterns seem to be the same. Being an overhead valve motor, there we go. You see the oil right on the bottom there? And that is beautiful. And here we have a little dipstick. You can stick the dipstick in there if you can't see it, if it's in a weird place, and as long as it's up there, you're fine. So this engine's all oiled up. It does come with a flywheel key here, which we are going to remove. We don't want that flying off in our heads, but that goes free with it, and mostly fit your equipment. If you need that key, she goes with it. We have a little fuel strainer here to catch the dirt if there's any in your fuel. These will burn regular gasoline. I'm just going to put about a cup of fuel in here to get her going. And that'll be enough to start her up. We have another thing here I want to show you. The controls on here are very simple. They have a fuel shut off over here. So when you're not using it, you shut it off in this position, and when you're running it, you put it in that position. These guys have one weak spot. Over the years I've been selling them. They have a spark plug that comes with them that tends to be a little weak. So what I do before I sell you this motor is I basically take the spark plug, which is a Chinese plug, out. It'll work, but I don't want to sell a motor 100 miles from my shop and have them call me that it's not running for just a cheap plug. So I'm going to scoot over and just get a good brand name NGK spark plug, and that will save you a lot of trouble. I don't charge extra for this. It's just something I like to have, a good working motor go out of here trouble-free, basically. So we'll pop that guy in there. Okay folks, now this motor has never ran before. To start it up, we're going to put the switch on here. We've had the gasoline on for a little bit here. The choke to start her up is over here. The little icon here tells you how to get there. This actually has a throttle control for people that want to apply it to a tiller, and it's just handy to have a speed control. So to start it up, we put it on the Rabbit. That's high speed. And this has never ran before. We'll show you, with any bout of luck, she'll start in 2 or 3 turns. Let's go. Now usually it takes 2 or 3 cranks, but that one wasn't too bad. Most of them start very easy. I didn't mention to you folks that these motors also can go on go-karts or many applications. You know what you can use it for. You have to figure it out for yourself. I'll supply them and supply you parts. And I'm going to show you the price for this motor, and it might surprise you. 6.5 horsepower motor. They were $195. I bought approximately 40 of these units to lower the price. They lowered the price $20 on me, so I'm handing that price off to you, the customer. They're $175 plus tax. And if it's going on a go-kart for your kid, I'll drop another $10 off. So now we're going to go on to the bigger motor. So we've looked at the 6.5 horsepower motor. We're going to look at the 9 horsepower motor here. The differences in these two motors is, of course, the horsepower. But these physically hold more fuel. They're physically bigger, stronger motor. I'll run around here and show you. The crankshaft size on the 6.5 is actually, here I'll demonstrate, it is 3/4 of an inch exactly. So that fits a lot of pulleys and all your gear. And this 9 horsepower over here has actually got a 1-inch crankshaft. They're very common in the industry. I'm not going to start this one up because it basically starts just as easy as the 6.5. And the price on this one here for a 9 horsepower Lifan motor is $319.95 plus tax. They work great. We'll go on to the 15 horsepower electric start now. This guy here is a fairly big motor. It is electric start. It's a very simple thing to wire up back here. All you have to do is basically put your live wire to your battery here, positive, and negative to ground anywhere. when you start this motor and run it, it will charge your battery. So I'm going to fuel this guy up here. I'll put a bit of fuel in here. I've already pre-oiled this engine. So we'll put enough gas in there to get it going. That'll be enough to get her started up. A lot of people with mink carts run these motors, gravel shakers, wherever you need a good high horsepower motor, you can apply this to. Now, this model is the same as the 6.5. You have to put the fuel on over here, and the choke is here. This one also has a throttle control. All these motors have a remote cable hookup, so you can hook them up remotely for like a go-kart or for remote applications. And over here we're going to have to get our battery charger out here. This is a boost capable battery charger, and that is where your live would go, and this is where your negative would go on ground. Now we'll be very careful here. We'll set the charger up on boost, and we'll choke her up here. Again, I'll put a bit of throttle on, and here we go. Just turn the key. Again here we go. We'll just give her a bit of throttle, give her a bit of choke. Again here, we'll just give her a bit of throttle and turn the... Timing perfectly. We're going to rip it up for her and see what she's got. There we go. It's that simple. These motors also end up on a lot of mini bandsaw mills. The price of this motor is, again, I bought a whole mess of these motors. The regular price was $479.95. I bought so many of them, they gave me $80 off on these motors. So I'm selling them for $399.95. They have a 1-year warranty. Parts are available and service. If I can help you with anything, just give me a call. I'll be glad to explain anything on the phone for you. All these models are in stock and ready to go. If you need one, give me a call. We'll start one up, and thanks a lot. Have a good day.